Good morning, students. Today, let's begin a very humorous poem. The name of the poem, The Tale of Custard the Dragon. It's about a dragon. This poem is written in a style of a ballad. Ballad, we know what it is. It's actually in a form of a song, a poem that tells a story. That's a ballad of valor, courage, etc. We have seen that ballads narrate a story of heroism, but this poem is in a form of a ballad, but actually it's a humorous one, means a funny one. You feel like laughing about it, and a very good poem. It's very close to a parody. We'll begin the poem. It's written by the poet Orrin Nash. There are 10 to 12 paragraphs about it. We shall begin one by one, and as we go through the poem, you will come to know its funny aspect, and it's very rhythmical also. You can see that the words do rhyme, the first and second line do rhyme, and the third and fourth line rhymes. So let's begin. The main character here is the dragon. So we'll begin the poem with the first paragraph. Belinda lived in a little white house with Belinda is a girl that we shall begin with. Belinda is a girl that lives in a little white house with a little black kitten. She has lots of pets. She lives in a white house. She has little black kitten and a little grey mouse. So these are the pets. She has a black kitten and a little grey mouse. A little yellow dog. Now she has kitten, mouse, and she calls the dog the yellow dog because its color is yellowish, and little red wagon, and she has a small wagon. It's especially used for children to play. Children sit and some of the other friends pull the wagon, and little children have fun on it. So she had a red wagon, and Relio Tullio little pet dragon. She also had a pet dragon with her. So these many things in the first paragraph. Relio Tullio doesn't have much meaning in it, but here it is used in the poem. Now we come to the second paragraph. Now the name of the little black kitten was Ink. See, the names are also important in the poem. Try to remember. The name of the kitten, the baby cat, was Ink. I-N-K, Ink. The little grey mouse, she called him Blink. See, Ink and Blink again have rhyming words. And the mouse that she had, it was grey colored, and she called him Blink. Cat was Ink, mouse was Blink. And little yellow dog was sharp as mustard. Now the color of as we know, the mustard is yellow, and the dog's color was also yellow. So she named the dog Mustard. But the dragon was a coward. You understand the meaning of coward, who is afraid, who feels afraid in almost all the things. Was a coward, not means not being brave. She had a dragon. As we know, the dragon is a very ferocious creature. But here in the poem, the poet keeps on telling us that the dragon was the most dangerous as it appears. But in the poem, he was one of the coward pets that she had, who used to be frightened. But the dragon was a coward, and she called him Custard. So mustard and custard again do rhyme. So the name of the dragon was Custard. Third paragraph we shall go. Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth. Now obviously we know actually dragon is an imaginative creature. But here it said that Custard had big sharp teeth, and dragons do have very sharp, pointed, lots of teeth in their mouth. Now she is explaining about the writer is telling us about the dragon. Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth and spikes on top of him and scales underneath. Spikes again, anything which is very much pointed, sharp. The dragons do have that sharp pointed thing on their entire body. So, and spikes on the top of him and scales underneath. And on the stomach it had scales. Snakes also on their belly they have scales through which they can move and glide. Mouth like a fireplace, and we know the imaginary thing said about the dragon, that dragons do breathe out fire from their mouth, as we have seen. So, mouth like a fireplace. So the dragon's mouth was like a fireplace. Always fire used to come out from the mouth. Chimney for the nose, and from the nose the smoke used to come out, because we know that where there is fire there is always smoke. So, through the nose the smoke used to come out, and through the mouth of the dragon fire used to come out. And Rilio Tulio daggers on his toe. Now daggers is actually a small, what we can call even a knife is a dagger, which was used previously by the warriors to fight, like a sword, a small sword. And the nails of the dragon were like dagger, means very pointed and sharp on the toe. Next paragraph. Belinda was as brave as barrels of bear. Now Belinda, the girl, was very brave. Barrels of bear. Bears are also very ferocious, dangerous animals, very, very brave. So she was just like a barrel, means lots of bears, having the strength of and having the courage of lots of bears she had. And Ink and Blink chased Lion down the stairs. Now the girl was very powerful, courageous, and the cat and the mouse, those were Ink and Blink, chased Lion down the stairs, and they were so brave that they could even chase the lion away. They were so brave, they were not even afraid of the lion, they chased away the lion also. Mustard was as brave as Tiger in rage, and the dog Mustard was so brave, as if he was tiger in rage. Rage means anger, and angry tiger is very dangerous. And the dog is compared to the angry tiger who was in rage, means he was also very dangerous. But Custard cried for a nice, safe cage. But that Custard dragon always used to say that I want to live in my cage, I want to sit in my cage. So none of the heroic activities are depicted here about the dragon. All the other creatures were, by the poet, very, very brave, strong, dangerous, ferocious. But everywhere the dragon is the opposite of all this. He was coward. He would just like to sit in his cage quietly. Next paragraph. Belinda tickled him, she tickled him unmercifully. Now Belinda tickled him means made the dragon laugh. Tickling. You understand what it is? She tickled him unmercifully, means she made him laugh, she tickled him so much without having any mercy on it. Ink and Blink and Mustard, they rudely called him Parrot. So the cat, the mouse, and the dog always made fun of the dragon. They used to make fun of him. They all sat laughing in the little red wagon, and they all used to sit in that wagon, and they used to continuously make fun of that dragon, because he was very much coward, he was afraid of everything, and they used to make a lot of fun about him. And at the Rilio Tulio cowardly dragon, they used to make fun of that dragon. Belinda giggled till she shook the house. Means Belinda laughed so much that It seemed as if the entire house was shaking. She used to laugh so much, giggled on him. And Blink said, Wick, which is giggling for a mouse. And even the mouse laughed. That is, the word is used, Wick. That means even the mouse used to laugh at the dragon. Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age, and Ink and Mustard always made fun of him because he was a huge creature, and they used to make fun of him that, how old are you? Means you are so old, we are so small, yet you are so coward and we are so brave. So they used to make fun of him. They used to insult the dragon by asking him his age. What age are you? Still you are a coward dragon. Look at us. So they used to humiliate the dragon by asking him his age. When Custard cried for a nice safe cage, yet the dragon did not mind any of these things, and he always cried for a safe cage. He always said that, just give me a cage where I shall sit inside the cage and be safe. I want to live in a cage. Next paragraph. Suddenly they heard a nasty sound. From here the poem changes a bit. So all this was going on, they were making fun of the dragon and all sorts of things. The dragon was always crying, hiding, being away from everyone, coward dragon. But one day an incident took place, and it said that suddenly they heard a nasty sound. They all were living in a house, and suddenly one day they heard a nasty, means a loud sound, and Mustard growled. So as they heard the sound, the dog obviously noticed it first, and it started growling, means making the sound the dogs usually do when they are angry or when they want to attack. And they all looked around. So everybody was looking here and there, that there is, they heard a nasty sound. So there is someone near about. So they all started looking here and there, looked around. Meow, cried Ink. The cat also made a noise. And oh, cried Belinda. And Belinda also cried, oh my God. Now, for there was a pirate climbing the window. We know what pirates are. They are thieves, robbers. Especially they rob the ships. Those are known as pirates. Those who actually are the people who rob ships in the sea, kill people. They would take the entire ship. Those are passing through the sea. Those are known as pirates. So now what was it, that a pirate was trying to climb their house through the window. A dangerous pirate. Pirates are always dangerous. So now everybody was worried. Next paragraph. Pistol in his left hand, pistol in his right. Now everybody started shouting, crying, and the pirate came. And pirates always have daggers and swords, and even they have pistols. So this pirate was carrying, in both of his hands he had pistol, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. Now that pirate had two guns in his hand, pistols in his hand, and in his teeth he was carrying a cutlass. That is also a kind of a small sword. So that he was holding is in his teeth, and he was trying to climb through the window and get into the house where Belinda was living. His beard was black. One leg was wood. This is the specialty of pirates. Many times these types of pirates do appear in stories. They don't have, in an accident they might have lost their leg and they put a wooden leg there. So he was having one leg was wood. His beard was black. It was clear that the pirate meant no good. And looking at the appearance of the pirate, it was clear that the pirate was not here in a good mood or for a good objective. He was there to harm them. That was very clear. So the pirate meant no good. The pirate did not mean any good. He was a bad man. He was holding pistols, cutlass, swords with him, and he was trying to get close to them. So now we would move to the next paragraph. Belinda paled and she cried, "Help, help." Belinda paled means when we are frightened, we turn pale. It is known as you turn yellow. It is called as, because you are very much frightened, you turn yellow. So pale color. The color of the girl was now pale. She was frightened that now we are going to die. The pirate is going to kill us all. She and cried, "Help, help." She started crying, shouting, "Help, help." But Mustard fled with a terrific yelp. Now all the other creatures who boasted, who said that we are very brave and we are very strong, first of all to run away from the scene was the dog. And he just fled. Fled means ran away. When he saw the pirate, he understood, oh, he is going to kill me. So first of all, the dog started running and he went away. Fled with a terrible yelp. He just ran away from the scene. Ink tickled down the bottom of the household, and Ink just ran and hid itself under some kind of furniture in the household. And the cat was also hiding now there because it was also afraid of the pirate. And the little mouse blinked strategically mouse hole. And obviously, where do the mouse run? To the mouse hole. And the mouse also ran away and went into the mouse hole. So all the three creatures now ran away from the scene, leaving Belinda alone standing there. And obviously now the scene was turning upside down. What was said to be very brave and courageous, all of them ran away. Now the poor girl was left alone. Next paragraph. But up jumped Custard, snorting like an engine. But who was coward? Everybody made fun of the dragon. Nobody paid any attention. They laughed at him at this very moment when they needed some brave creature to just go and fight with the pirate. It was Custard. And he stood up, he jumped, he also understood that now something is wrong. It's dangerous, snoring like an engine. So when we have seen the steam engines, when they just start, lots of steam and smoke come out and lots of noise it makes. And like an engine, he stood up, started with lots of power, clashed his tail like iron or dungeon. And when all of them ran away, he smashed his tail like an iron, as if it was made up of an iron. He smashed it on the floor, making a noise, making his presence felt that now I am here, come and fight with me. And he stood up when everybody ran away. And he was obviously getting angry too. With a clatter and clang and the jiggling squirm. Now obviously the dragon was standing in front and trying to protect all the other, including Belinda and the other animals. So he stood in front of the pirate, who was very dangerous, was there to harm them all. Now he was there with all his courage gathered up and ready to fight the pirate. So he went at the pirate like a robin at a worm, and he jumped and went to the pirate in front of him like a robin. Robin is a small bird that eats specially small worms, and it is very, very swift, very, very fast. The worm, if it is on a tree or it is on the ground, it can never notice when the robin comes and snatches it away and eats it. It's very, very fast. It's a small bird. So he went to the pirate like a robin. He was a very huge creature, but he was very swift. So in no time, he just stood there in front of the pirate like a robin jumps for the worm. And he stood there in front of him in a very, very angry mood, ready to fight and protect his friends and his master, the girl. So next paragraph. The pirate gaped at Belinda's dragon. So when obviously the dragon was in front of the girl, so the pirate looked at the dragon He was in a bad mood. So he just looked at the dragon that, okay, now you are there, then I will fight you. And gulped some cork from his pocket falcon. So his mouth was open. Now he knew that he had to fight the dragon. He was also a bit afraid of him. So what did he do? He took out alcohol, which always pirates do carry with them, and to gather courage, he drank some of it. He took out the bottle from his pocket and he gobbled it. And now he had taken the alcohol. He was ready to fight. So, and gulped some gorg. Gorg is an word which is used for alcohol from his pocket falcon. Now he drank that alcohol. He was ready. He was also angry. What did he do? He fired 2 bullets, but they didn't hit. So he took out his gun and started shooting at the dragon to kill him. He fired 2 bullets, but luckily none of the bullet hit the dragon. He missed his aim. And Custard gobbled him every bit. So 2 bullets he fired, he couldn't hit. What did dragon do? He went close, opened his mouth and took the entire pirate in his mouth and gobbled him and ate him in a second. The dragon is very big. So he just opened his huge mouth, took the entire pirate in his mouth, ate him just in a bite, and everything was finished, and gobbled him every bit. So he ate the pirate in just a second. Paragraph number 12. Belinda embraced him, Mustard licked him. So, everybody saw the scene that they were almost on the verge of death. Who saved them? The dragon. So, the girl was seeing, all the other creatures were also hiding, but they were looking what was going on. So, first of all, Belinda came and embraced the dragon. She was very happy. Mustard licked him. The dog came and started licking him. Oh, you saved us too. No one mourned for the pirate victim, and nobody was sad for that pirate. Everybody was happy that he is killed. So nobody mourned. Mourn means to be sad, to cry for someone. But who would mourn for a pirate who was there to kill him? So everybody was happy. No one mourned for the victim, pirate victim. Ink and Blink in glee did great. So Ink and Blink also were very, very happy. Oh, that now the pirate is dead, we are safe again. Around the dragon that ate the parrot, and everybody was around, sitting and coming close to the dragon. Everybody was patting him, licking him. Everybody was happy. Everybody surrounded him everywhere. And because he had ate the pirate, so everybody was happy that now we are again all back together. Paragraph number 13. But presently up smoke little dog Mustard. But obviously, as we know, that people who boast, people who those who don't have the quality, do try to show that they are very, very helpful, they are very courageous, but actually it is the time that shows that who is courageous, who is helpful, who helps us in need. It is time that shows us. So obviously the nature doesn't change of these kinds of creatures. It is also, we can associate this directly to human creature, human beings also, to the nature of human beings also, that people, when you help them, at that time they thank you also, but after few days they do forget that what was the situation previously, and they are against you. So for those whom you have helped, they will be against you. So this was the same thing that happened here. So everything was finished, everybody knew that the pirate is gone now, nobody can do anything, we are safe now. So again they started their own dirty ways. And what did the dog how did it begin? But presently up smoke little Mustard. So what did the dog? First of all, the dog spoke and he came. He was the first one to run away, but now he is the first one to speak again. And what did he say? I'd have been twice as brave if I hadn't been flustered. See, now what did the dog say? Oh, you killed the pirate, no problem. But if I was there, I would have been twice as brave as you, dragon. Now he is telling to the dragon that even I could have done this. I would have been not once but twice as brave as you if I did not just move away from here at the time. So actually he ran away, he was afraid, but he spoke in such a way that I was not present here. If I was there, I would have been twice as brave as you and killed the pirate. And upspoke ink and upspoke blink. So now it was the chance of the two other creatures to speak. So they also said, what did they say? We'd have been 3 times as brave, we think. Now they are telling that if we were here at that very moment, we would have been 3 times more brave than you, dragon, and we would have killed that pirate. We would have been 3 times as brave, we think. And Custard said, I quite agree. See, the dragon was such a good creature that what did it say? It did not boast about his glory, about his victory. And he did not say that you were the one who ran away, leaving Belinda alone here in front of the pirate. The dragon was so humble that actually he had done all what was needed. He had killed the pirate. Everybody knew. But yet the others boasted that we were twice and thrice time more braver than you if we would have got a chance. They had the chance, but they ran away. They were hiding. They were looking at all the entire scene. So yet the dragon did not say a word. And what did he say? And Custard said, I quite agree. Yes, I agree. You are twice and thrice braver to me. I am not as brave as you. That everybody is braver than me. And the dragon said, I know everybody is more brave than me. I am really coward. Where actually he was not at all coward. He was the most bravest. Now the next paragraph. Belinda still lives in her little white house. Now, at the end, still it's the same. The situation is the same. Belinda is still living in that little white house with her little black kitten and her little grey mouse. Still she is living with that kitten, with that mouse, grey mouse, and her little yellow dog and her little red wagon. And that same dog she has, and the wagon also red she has, and her Trillo little pet dragon. And still the dragon is also with them. Now the last paragraph. Belinda is as brave as a barrel full of bears. See, still the writer is saying the same thing. Belinda, she was also afraid of the pirate. She started shouting and crying. She also couldn't do anything. But yet, Belinda is as brave as a barrel full of bear, and Ink and Blink chase Lion down the stairs. Mustard is as brave as a tiger in the rage, but Custard keeps crying for a nice, safe cage. Now still the dragon is crying, and the dragon wants a cage to live in. Still he is the same. So this is where the poem comes to an end. It's a very entertaining poem by Orrin Nash, and this is just about the author. That Orrin Nash was born on 19th August 1902 in New York. He worked as a school teacher, so he was also a school teacher before becoming a copywriter. So first of all he was a teacher, then he became a poet. His first collection of poems entitled Hard Lines was published in 1931, The Boy Who Laughed at Santa Claus, which was published in 1957, and Girls Are Silly in 1962 are among his famous books. You can read them through the net. It will be available. All his poems are really very entertaining, just like this one. Nash is perhaps best remembered for his nonsense poetry. This is also a nonsense poem. We can understand that it doesn't actually have any meaning in a way. All the things are imaginary, but yet it gives a very beautiful message. We can just associate it with the human nature, the human beings, and how human beings do things in their life. We can say that. So Nash died in 19 May 1971. The introduction of the poem is we can say that the poem is about a little girl, Belinda, who owns many pets, namely Black Kitten, Ink, that we have done, Mouse, named Blink, Yellow Dog, Mustard, and Cowardly dragon named Custard. The poet has described every character to be brave except the dragon, who is a coward. So you've done before that. He says that every other pet is very much brave, but the dragon is coward. But actually, the tables turn, and at the end, it is obvious that the dragon was the most courageous, and all the other pets were really coward. But the whole situation changes when a pirate attacked Belinda's house. So, this is what we understand by the poem. It's also again as said as nonsense words, and we come to the end of the poem. We have on page number 132 the question answers. Thinking about the text, you can understand that it's just in a story form. So if you just take a look at it twice, you will understand the entire story also. Very easy to understand and remember. And please do write down the question answers in your fair book, which are on page number 132, by reading the entire poem once or twice. Okay. So until we meet again, thank you. Do read the poem and do write down the question answers. Thank you very much.